Mayor?
Good evening, I call this regular city council meeting for February 22nd, 2026 to order at 9:06 PM. And for the flag. Ready, begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Moving on to item 3, could I please get a motion on the meeting?
Sorry,
agenda?
Mayor,
Oh,
I forgot to do roll call.
oh, I'm sorry, yes. Maggie will now do, can I please get a moment of silence? Maggie will now start roll call.
Councilmember Olivares,
Here.
Councilmember Sotelo,
Here.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Here.
Councilmember Zavala,
Here.
Councilmember De La Fuente,
Here.
and Mayor Gonzalez.
Here. Now, to item number 3, could I please get a motion on the meeting agenda?
I make a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo,
1 second.
second by Councilmember De La Fuente. Any discussions?
Yeah, I have a question. How? Adding all these 3 up right here,
Wait, we're not on that.
you're looking at,
there yet. We're not there yet.
We can approve everything on the agenda when we get to consent agenda.
all right.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item number 4, could I please get a motion on the consent agenda A through F?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo.
I would like to talk about this.
Well, we can do that as the second.
Yes.
I second it.
And I have a second by Councilmember Olivares. Any discussion?
Yes.
I think we all have the same.
Who wants?
Looking at this right here. This is over $200 and some thousand that needs to get paid out. Really have the money yet. I know it's gotta get paid. But doesn't that just put us further and further in the hole?
Item A and B have already been paid out. Those are payroll. We can't hold payroll for council approval. So this is just informing you that that's what has been paid out for payroll on the 3rd. Because the 5th was a weekend, and then on the 20th.
Item A and B are for payroll.
Yes, because we didn't have a council meeting at the beginning of April, so both of them are on this one. On this agenda.
But that's what I'm saying. Who approved it? If we didn't have a meeting,
Payroll has to get paid no matter what.
whether it gets approved or not?
You cannot withhold employee earnings.
Yes.
Technically,
Well,
Drew, hey,
But that's it.
hold on, let me get the lost room. Drew, can you clarify that? Councilmember Sotelo is questioning if we can do payroll without approval.
Correct. And in fact, this is common in all cities, recognizing that pay periods don't necessarily line up with your meetings. Obviously, we go through this process of getting approval for the expenditures through the payroll warrants, that process part has to continue to happen. But what Sophie has just described, the city cannot withhold funding or cannot withhold payment to to its employees for the work that they've done for those pay periods, just because council hasn't had an opportunity to approve the warrants. That's if that's both in a state law sense and also from a liability sense. If you think about it from a private employer, if a private employer has people on their payroll and they don't pay them on time based off of what their contract or their job description or their agreement is, that employer faces significant liability. They can be they can get penalties for stealing because it's considered wage theft, stealing from their employees, and all these other things that may happen. So yes, what Sophie is describing is correct.
Okay, my question is that if there's gonna be meetings being canceled, just for whatever the reasons are, there should never be a week of council that the council meeting should be canceled. Because there should always be something on the agenda. The way things are here in Athens, there should always be something on the agenda. And in order for us to approve some of these costs, that would be something that could go on the agenda. You know, and that way we can come, even if it's 15, 20 minutes. We need to do it the right way. I hear what you're saying, yeah, payroll's gotta get paid. But do you think it would be better if we had a council meeting to approve the payroll? That way it's legit, instead of just saying, hey, you know what, go ahead and pay it. We're gonna go ahead and cancel the meeting, go ahead and pay it.
So I think that's where, council comes in and responds to, when Marty sent that email out, you guys as council can say, no, we want to have this meeting. Why? Because we want to approve payroll, we want to, for whatever reason. So that's where you guys come in and, make that decision, that call.
Okay, and not only that, but if a council meeting is gonna be canceled the day of or the day before, then there's no reason why we can't have the meeting the next day. If it's scheduled for a Wednesday and it gets canceled, there's no reason that we can't have the council meeting on Thursday.
Council member, there are a couple of restrictions on that. So when you hold a meeting outside your regular schedule, it's a special meeting. Yes, you can schedule a special meeting anytime, but you have to give 24-hour notice before of that meeting. And so, for example, if a meeting got canceled on Wednesday at 6 p.m., you could not at 7 p.m. on the same day issue a notice saying we're going to hold a special meeting for Thursday at 6 p.m. because you haven't given the 24-hour period. So you're right, you can set a meeting. Just know that you have to make sure that when you do, there's 24 hours between when you set it and when you hold it.
Yeah, that's right. There's no reason that the council meeting can't proceed on the day of the meeting. Because there should always be something on the agenda. Always. Whether it's,
At least not for the reason of lack of agenda item.
yeah. Because there should always be something on the agenda. There should always be something on the agenda. There's no reason for there not to be nothing on the agenda. Whether it's a bill, whether it's whatever it may be, there should always be something there that we could be discussing. Whether it's working on the streets or coming up with ideas or whatever it may be, there should always be something there. So I would suggest that from now on, this is my suggestion. If we get, let's say Tuesday comes around, or Tuesday morning, they say, oh, wait, the council meetings, we're not gonna have it tomorrow. If we ourselves have something that we want to discuss, we can either call the office or we can go into the office and say, hey, you know what? I want to talk about this, I want to bring this up, so put it on the agenda, that way we can have an agenda so that we can have a meeting. And I would say if anybody else, if that day comes up again, and if anybody else has anything to, on their mind to discuss, let's make that phone call, that way we don't miss a meeting just because. Not unless it's absolutely an emergency.
I think also for that meeting, we did have people that were gonna come and speak for that meeting, but they were the ones who emailed, they canceled, they had to postpone, so that was another reason too.
But we could have still had stuff on the agenda to talk about.
True.
Yeah,
And so that's, like I said, that's why I think that it's important for our council to also speak up when that comes, you know. When they're being informed.
Yeah.
You know, there aren't topics, so yeah, agree.
go ahead, Lou.
Okay, so I'm having some problems with these invoices and these receipts. There's some of these receipts that do not have initials, no name, no vehicle, no tractor, no nothing. Is there a reason?
On the fuel? Oh. Sorry,
We talked about this before.
that you just did not get copied on your, some of them, like, some of our public works individuals signed the back of the receipt. You just did not, yes. And you just did not get that, the back copies.
Okay.
What's
Another
the
thing-
amount?
What's the amount, Mary?
Which one exactly are you looking at?
5369,
What date?
3526. 10:09 I think.
Just
35, 26.
3/5, March 5th, 10:09 a.m. Yield, for 53.69. Well. One of these.
Yeah.
These are 3/5.
And it wasn't the police department, it was,
Public Works.
But. Actually, no.
I tried to come earlier in this. This one's in.
That one's in the signatures.
Okay. And then the other question I have is, there's more receipts, right? But I trust you guys, if you guys are telling me that they're signing them back. Sophie has told me and Ruben that she puts her initials every time she gets the movie.
Not on,
There's only been a couple of receipts I've seen your initials on.
I put my initials if I'm the one checking him in.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm not the one checking him in. If the guys bring something and they're outside or I'm on the phone and. Then Marty will go out or Jerry will go out, somebody else will go out, so when we check in inventory. There's usually there are two initials, they may not always necessarily be mine. If I'm not here or if I'm busy with something else, somebody else will check them in, but there should always be two initials.
What? It's either only them signing and I don't see nobody else's initials.
On which ones?
There's a couple of them. It doesn't just have, the name and then, I know this is a police officer. You know, they, when you received it, when Marty received it, I think somebody's initial is fine. It's not.
Is that a fuel receipt for the
Yeah.
police? Oh, I do not initial fuel receipts.
Oh, okay. But
Why?
I do see some of them that you do sometimes initial. I do see it as your SM on it sometimes. So I was just wondering. So my other question is, so how many gloves do the guys need? How many boxes of gloves do we really need?
Well,
Are they going every week to go buy more boxes or I'm not understanding.
Talking about nitro.
Yeah, the latex.
They,
A lot.
Yeah.
you guys use them too, don't you?
Yeah, we haven't bought any boxes for, Months.
Southern Works.
Yeah. Is
The
that Ace
waste-
Hardware?
The wastewater plant has to use them every time they're in the lab.
Okay, so it's mainly for them?
It's for all of them, for every department, but wastewater definitely goes through.
Gloves, I'm thinking they're leather gloves.
Oh, no,
Those are 1999.
it's a box.
These ones down here.
We're also not, if they want to wear gloves, like latex gloves to do work, we can't.
I don't have a problem, I was just wondering. Are they buying gloves all the time or what? And then.
No, but I can start an Excel sheet and start tracking how many boxes. they
And
buy.
then another thing. when we use the MasterCard, we go on trips, we should have the receipt of el contestador,
Oh, that is.
enchiladas, or arroz y frijoles,
Oh, she
or
wants the itemized
something.
receipt.
I got a receipt, but was there alcohol involved? You know,
I'll,
If it's on the receipt.
it's 136.80.
The receipt. is-
Oh, it doesn't have a description.
Yeah.
They can have the items.
You take that, I'll be 100 and something bucks.
Well, for cheap.
That was me,
That's.
and I guarantee you there was no alcohol
You know, I'm just wondering, because I know.
for two
they
people.
told us that. For two people, can I
Two
have the
people.
receipt of what you
It was-
bought?
It was for graduation.
That was for graduation, when.
For two people, 120 something dollars.
What's that stipend for that now?
let us know.
But I know there's a no cap.
There's four.
People, because everything is so high. What's this?
What do you do for
stipend?
all?
What's that?
There's
For
a
first
Per
stipend.
person.
Girls
There
Per
is.
person.
It's like.
And if they go over.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was, that's right. There was 4 of us.
4 of you.
4 of us. I'm so sorry. I don't remember these two.
Who went?
We should have a.
Myself, the
receipt
sergeant.
for Whatever, there should be an actual physical receipt,
Yeah.
because if we're audited, they're gonna want the actual
There,
receipt.
there's not a physical receipt.
There should be you should need
It
to
doesn't
pay
even tell me if
it.
they got
pay it.
pots or
Doesn't-
water.
Instead of register the credit card, if you don't have what they ordered.
They should have the physical receipt.
The itemized receipt.
You know, I know exactly where they were at,
Like,
right, but
Yeah.
I just want, for next time, we need that other receipt.
Who all went?
Myself, the Sarge, and Mighty and Sophie.
Why did you guys have to go?
Yes.
When it's a police department thing?
And store.
No, seriously,
It's a graduation.
it was having to do with the police department. Why did you two ladies feel that you guys didn't? I don't wanna hear the word support. I really don't. Because that's what the chief is for. Huh?
I went once, so as a council, been a while back.
Yeah, well, that's been a while back, but my question is, why was it necessary for them to go? When they could have been here in the office?
But I mean, I feel like, you know, when it's, you know, they're, why, I don't understand why they weren't able to go if we had. Two people covering the office.
That's not the point. The
Or
point-
what, or so, I mean, I
Write up.
That's not the point. The point is, it's extra expense.
Did you?
That was unnecessary. Because they could have stayed here and done their job. The chief could have gone with the sergeant themselves. You know, it's their department. You know, so that's just extra cost right there. That the city's having to put out for really no reason at all. You know, I can see covering the expense for the chief and the sergeant because they're going up in to support this officer because it's his police office, it's his department. But to have staff members go out there just because? You know, I mean, that's like saying, if that's the case, then we could all have gone, you know, for support. And still got to pay for it. You know, and still had a dinner or whatever it was. Would that make sense? If you really think about it, would that make sense? To me, it doesn't. Because to me, it's just an extra expense. It's money that could have been saved, even if it's whatever it might have been. You know, but the point is, there was no reason for them to have to go on when there's just no reason behind it. I don't know how the rest of the council feel, but that's what I feel. How do you feel, so about that?
With the no money that we have, reducing spending, that would have saved a little bit.
Yeah.
You all drove together in the same car?
No, they can't go on the patrol car.
Oh, you have 2 separate cars,
They went in a patrol car. We went in one vehicle.
so they got reimbursed for mileage too?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I didn't think you would.
We're not,
And that was even training.
that should be maybe the meal, but I don't think to go to somebody's function like that, you can. That should
That's
be.
the
up to
other
you.
year end. We need to implement a staff car, one of the old vehicles. I know when back when Opie was here, we had an old beat up. Old beat up, brown, old police car, that was, the public works could use. They were cleaning up and we go to these COG meetings. We didn't, you don't be able to get reimbursed on that. We took a staff card, we didn't get reimbursed. We saved money on just paying gas than what actually quickly we spend whatever it is a mile now.
You see, because if this financial problem's been going on since, let's say, the beginning of the year, our number one priority would be, let's try to cut expenses wherever we can. You know, the other, yeah, the other day, I was looking at the finance report. And I noticed that there were I think it was 5 or 6 gas cards that are still being used. Why do we have so many? I thought the thing was that they were going into the office, checking the card out, going getting gas.
One.
I know, but the cards the numbers that I've seen on the invoice, on the finance report the other day, every card had a separate number.
Yeah.
They each have their own.
It's
little
Public
name.
Works 1, Public Works 2, Public Works 3, Public Works
They
4,
still check
and then, the cards and,
I can understand the police officers having their own
Police
separate
officers,
cards.
I understand them.
Yeah, I can understand the police officers.
I understood from Sophie that. Say us 3 work for the city,
Mhm.
I wanted gas, I come in and tell Sophie I need some gas, Sophie. For what? Or for the.
I feel like if we do
Okay,
like
you
Public
can
Works
use your
1,
card and bring it back to me. Yeah.
the reason why and they do, but I feel like with Public Works, like if you have them each have a card, then you can say, oh wait, why is Public Works 3 gassing up so many times?
Right.
And
And
which
she
is,
told us at the beginning, they're all gonna have their own card.
so they do come and check them out, but they
Oh,
each
okay.
have a card.
But they don't keep them, right?
No, they do not keep them.
Okay, so my last question is, I'm not being picky, I'm just wondering. Jerry works in the office. So why is Jerry going to Home Depot? Buying paint? Buying trade pads,
Supplies,
liners?
He didn't, he checked in the stuff.
Oh, is that what you did? So you guys got it delivered?
No. When is it?
So who pays
Is that when you went to do when,
You know, you can have it delivered.
We
so
went,
we had to go and do, can you explain, Sophie, what you guys did?
we had to go to Franklin County to file a small claims lawsuit. And so we stopped at Home Depot and picked up the supplies that Public Works needed. And since we purchased it, we could not check it in, so Jerry checked in, which is why his name is on the.
Okay, I thought he's the one who went out, like, why did Jerry go, he works in the
What was all, what, paint trays, what else?
paint trays, metal trays,
Microphone,
yeah.
brushes.
That stuff could have been bought right here at Walmart for a lot cheaper. Somebody could have gone 7 miles and bought that stuff instead of going 40 some miles, to go get it. Just because.
I was already-
I understand it, just because you're there. They could have gotten it here. Don't, you see, those are the things that people need to think about. And then when we're talking expenses, when we're talking expenditures. We gotta think about what we're doing before we go do it. I myself would have rather gone to Walmart and got paint trays and brushes, gloves, whatever it was. Instead, even though somebody was going to the Tri-Cities, I would have rather gone here, came back with the stuff and gone straight to work with it. They're waiting for you to come all the way back so that they can get to work, if that's what they were waiting for, the fans or whatever. But even then, just the thought of having to get,
So I have a
Stuff.
question too.
Only because it's cheap.
When the girls went to, and I'm not thinking, but they went to the graduation. Did they get paid for that day? I know, but. Okay.
But are they saying,
If
do they
you
have
get
an
paid for that
office
day.
or do they have enough
Yeah,
time?
Yeah.
My understanding is that they have a lot of work in the office. I'm not understanding.
I forgot
About
their previous.
Oh, anyhow, I did see something else in here. Are you guys filling out incident reports and stuff like that when there's accidents here? On an employee?
Yes.
Yeah.
the question wasn't answered from Mira. I don't feel the question was.
Oh, Martha said their salary, so yes, they're getting paid.
Okay, so they got paid to go to a trip to Olympia, Tacoma, wherever it was,
Has-
when they could have been getting paid, when they could have been getting paid to do your job right here.
They're asking about getting paid for going, you guys got paid that day to go.
Right, and we still took the
But
laptop.
That's what I'm saying, they got paid to go over there instead of getting paid for doing their job right here. That to me is pretty, I mean, it's unfortunate, I mean, why do we do things like that? Why do we do things like that? It's like, to me, it seems like, whatever. I'm gonna do it, you know, whatever, I'm gonna go,
It's
you're not thinking about,
kind of hard when you guys already know we're in the red.
yeah. You know, it's like, we're trying to pinch pennies here, and still we're taking the joyride all the way to Olympia, wherever it was at. Just to go in and sit on bleacher and watch an officer graduate. And then to go out and eat dinner. And then come home and still get paid, not only your wages, but still get reimbursed for gas. And get reimbursed for your meal. It's just not right. You know, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you guys thought that that was gonna be so easy to do and figure that you were gonna get questioned for it, because that's what we're here for, to raise these questions of concern. And I applaud these two girls because they caught it. I haven't seen the receipts yet, but they caught it, and that's why they're bringing it to everybody's attention, because it's a waste of money that the city could have saved for whatever. You know, so things like that, you need to think about things like that and bring them to a stop before you decide to go ahead and do it. I didn't hear that.
Oh, I was asking her if she had to give permission for them to attend, and she said yes.
Well, she would have to because she's.
Yeah,
the
right,
boss.
well, I just wanted to.
So then we can blame that on you then, Mayor. You know? Because, I mean,
Big show.
that was unnecessary expense, and I think,
Okay, let's.
okay.
Yes.
You want to see, aren't we?
We're in the consent agenda.
Whereas.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just,
Oh,
any, all in favor?
Aye.
Like,
Aye.
did we get a motion on that one?
Yeah.
Motion carried.
Don't forget, I didn't-
Sorry, I didn't.
So then, next on the agenda is visitors' comments. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the city council. Please state your name for the record before speaking. Comments are limited to 5 minutes per speaker. We ask that remarks be directed to council as a whole and be respectful and courteous.
Hello, my name is Laura. I live on Maple Street here in Macon. First thing I want to talk about is at the very beginning of your study session, you had a gentleman come in and talk about putting a cell tower somewhere. I was a little confused because he was talking about putting it at the railroad. Is that where he's talking about it?
The water tower.
Our water tower?
Yeah.
I know, okay,
They were thinking about putting it at the silos, but the silos are gonna get torn down.
okay. So I know that everybody was really tough on that, but there's some questions I want to have for that. And I think before you guys do anything else, you need to ask these questions to somebody. One, was our water tower built to sustain whatever they want to put on there? Because it's gotta weigh something, right? So is that water tower gonna withhold that? Because we're gonna be paying on that tower for 35 more years or something like that. It's like 40 or 50 years we're paying on that tower. So will it withhold that? The second thing is there's 2 towers back here already. I know that I was sitting here when they come in to throw their pitch to put those towers in. And they threw this pitch that we was gonna get all this revenue. Do you remember that, Sophie? Council, just so you remember that? Well, you guys need to go to the city and ask how much revenue we actually get. Because when I was here, we get $14, $21, $8, $1.45. So you need to see if it's actually gonna work. Another thing that I have a concern with is I see people out here working on these towers constantly. At least once a month, they're out here. So is our towers okay for somebody to be up there every month, walking on top of our towers? Is it made for something like that? Will it hurt our structure in 10 years from now or 15 years from now? Are they gonna have to drill holes in that to hold their gear in? Like, them are questions that you really need to find out before you go any farther. Before you contract.
What towers are you talking about?
Well, they're talking about the water
The
tower.
tower is over there at the city park.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's
But
not
as it-
cell, it's internet, and they wanna put it
Oh,
on
yeah,
top,
internet, sorry,
top of the water tower.
internet. They wanna put it on top of our water tower. And yes, it may bring in some revenue, but you gotta see if that revenue is worth it, because that's gonna be people up there. Anytime they have an issue, they're gonna be up there. And how much money are we actually gonna make? Get a real ballpark. He said, oh, $1,000, okay. Really? Because we ain't making that off of those, and there's a lot of little thingies on those towers up there, and we ain't making $1,000 a month from all of that. Unless it's really changed. Second thing is, I wanna talk just a little bit about your stipend. So the way that the ordinances used to state is if you go somewhere, you put in your request for stipend and your $25 for dinner is what you used to get, and you was paid that money before you went. So no money should be paid with a credit card, no money should be paid with anything except fuel in the vehicle. That's the way it used to be. Now, if it's been changed, I don't know. I doubt it's been changed, so that's something that you guys need to look into when trainings, when people are going somewhere. You can't let them blow, $40 a person. There's a stipend. It used to be $12.50 for breakfast, I don't remember, 18 for lunch, something, 25 for dinner. And that's all that they should be getting. If there was 4 of them and it's a $25 stipend, they shouldn't have went over $100. If they went over $100, they should be bringing you a receipt and giving you the difference. If it was 125, they need to write you a check for $25. The city shouldn't be paying more than what the stipend and what the contract states.
It's
In my
written down, Laura. I know it's written down somewhere. I've seen it and, yeah, the numbers are there. You're right. They're not very much, but they're there.
Right. And maybe they need to be adjusted, because, I mean, I was here 8 years ago, right? 7 years ago, so it needs adjusted today. It's something you guys may need to look into as council. The last thing is the full audit. Now, we was promised a full audit. We was promised that. We know that there's at least $43,000 still not accounted for from the city in the past. We was promised a full audit. And I haven't seen anything yet. Now I'm hearing a lot of things out on the street, right? Which 90% isn't true. But there is accountability that I would like to see as a resident. I want to see the accountability. Because we're paying, what, $75,000, $80,000 for a treasurer? Somewhere close to that for a city clerk. That's $150,000 a year, just in wages, I think. That's not including anything else. Are they doing the job that they need them to do? This audit will tell us that, because although it's gonna be the ex-mayor being audited, so is her staff. Okay, and I feel that if we are paying $75,000 to somebody, they better know what they're doing.
I'm
They
sorry,
better-
Laura, I know that you have more to say, but we need to stick to the fact.
No, that's
Sorry.
okay.
But I
Okay, but-
mean, you're more than welcome to come in and,
It's really hard to get with you.
I
Because
hear,
you're out of the office, you're in the office to out a lot. You're in the office,
Mayor,
because you're supposed to be on
They would-
Tuesdays, Thursdays, but a lot of times you're not
we
there.
have somebody who
You're not.
wants to give up. their-
So. Thank you.
Laura,
they wanna give you 5 more minutes.
That would be good, if you don't mind.
you're the only one here.
Somebody's online.
Thank you, whoever that was. I think the audit, we can't afford it. Jameson has said it. I'm hoping that with everybody that spoke tonight, you guys will approve what we need to get approved to start pushing the city forward, right? But this audit's really important. Somebody needs to be accountable for what they've done to our city the last 4 years. Somebody has to be accountable for it. We can't just let it roll over. I was accountable for every single thing I've done. Even lines, we brought people in to double check, to audit, to check all the lines. We had to spend money when I was accused of stealing the metal. We had a third party come in. It cost the city like $4,500 for them to say, oh, she didn't steal nothing. What are you guys talking about? That was just a straight up lie. But we had to pay it because we have to prove to the citizens that we are showing everybody everything. That we are being completely, what's the word? Transparent in everything we do. And not pushing forward this audit, yes, we can afford it. Do little pieces of it. Where did they find the $43,000 on? Start there. Check every credit card. See how many times somebody went out to dinner and spent $70 for one person. See how many times somebody pumped $200 worth of gas. Make that person accountable. Whoever was in charge of it, whoever said, oh yeah, we'll pay you this $200, make that person accountable. Because we're paying people to be accountable. And if they can't do that, then we need to do something different here. Because we can't go 3 or 4 more years of people not knowing what to do. And learning and teaching and learning. So I feel that audit needs to take place.
Sorry, are you talking about that forensic audit?
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
The one that was promised. I mean, it was promised to us. It was promised to every citizen. If I'm elected, I will do this. If I'm elected, I will do this. You're elected. So now do it. Don't not do what you said you were gonna do. That's one of the reasons you were elected. That was the number one reason I voted for people. Because I wanted that audit done. Because I know how bad it was. And somebody needs to be accountable. Not just, oh, that person didn't know what they were doing and we all knew that. No. They didn't know what they were doing, they need to be accountable. You don't take a job unless you can do it. You don't go take a job as a school teacher if you're not a school teacher. And you don't go get a job as a cop if you're not a cop. You don't go take a job as anything if you're not qualified to do it. And if you're not qualified, then the boss needs to step up and say, sorry, you're not qualified. I'm not your friend, I'm your boss. And this has to happen this way. Lots of people may not like you. You're not on that bench to be liked. You're not. You're on that bench to choose the right decision and make the right choice for me, for everybody here, and for everybody top in. That is your job. To make sure that when you make a decision, it's a decision that you would feel everybody would make. Not just because you're trying to make one person happy. You have to be the tough person. And you're gonna be called all kinds of names, and you're gonna be lied about. But as long as you're doing the right thing, and somebody accuses you, and you have it checked out, bring somebody in and check it, and they say there was nothing wrong done. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what they say out there. It's what matters what you do in. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me your 5 minutes.
Seeing that there's no further visitors, comments. That is now closed, so we are moving on to new business. A, approval of ordinance 2026-1210. Can I please get a motion?
Oh my God.
Yes, approval of ordinance 2026-12, an ordinance of the city of Mountain, amending chapter 5.28.050 of the Mountain Municipal Code related to the occupation for utility services for water, sewer, and garbage service.
This is the ordinance to increase the utility tax from 23% to 26%. And this is the money that goes directly into the general fund that directly supports your police officers.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-1210.
I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo. Second.
You know what?
Sorry.
Okay,
No.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Second by Councilmember Zavala.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
I was just gonna say, I second it.
Oh,
I mean, if this is having to do with the police department, then yeah, I'm all in.
all in favor?
I,
Those opposed? Motion carried. Approval of, sorry, moving on to business. To new business B, approval of ordinance 2026-1211. An ordinance of the city of Bampton amending chapter 13.04.510 and 13.04.520 of the Bampton Municipal Code related to the rates charged for sewer utility service.
This is the ordinance that will increase the sewer utility charges by 2% starting January 1st of 2027. And then 2% for the next 4 years following, but with including an annual financial review of the fund.
I make a motion to, I make a motion to approve.
So is this gonna be for, starting in May?
This particular one won't go into effect until January 1st of 2027.
Yeah, but he only brought one, I think he brought both. Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-1211.
I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo,
I'll second it.
second by Councilmember Olivares. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business C, approval of ordinance 1212, an ordinance of the city of Mapton amending chapter 8.04.090 of the Mapton Municipal Code related to the rate charge for garbage utility services.
This is the ordinance that will bump up the garbage utility charges by 12%, starting with the bill issued in May, at May 25th, due to be paid in June. And it'll bump that up by 12% until December, and then starting January, it'll go to 2% increases or up to 12% until the reserve of 16.7% is met.
So I thought that, the garbage rates went up the beginning of this year.
The garbage rates go up every year when Yakima Waste provides an updated contract that has the new gas rates and all that stuff. But in 2024, they did not increase the rates. The city approved it. The council approved it, but it was not implemented by city staff. So now we have a half a year. And we'll kind of make up some of that. We're not gonna get ourselves all the way back into the fund balance that we need. Which is why we're asking for up to 12% for the next few years until we can get the fund balance back.
So you're asking 12% for garbage rate hike on top of the water hike, on top of the sewer hike.
Yes. Each utility charges its own set of rates.
So for example, let's say you're paying $186 a month for water, you're looking at a $19-20 hike. That's just for water.
No, the
That's for
examples
everything.
that were in my presentation in the study session included all 3 utilities
Okay.
and the utility tax. So all 4 elements that we're asking for were included there. So for the first year, the total bill for a base charge will go up by $17.07 per month. But that's
For all
for
three.
all three utilities plus the utility tax.
And you're talking this hike is only up to the end of the year, hopefully.
This one, well, yeah, we're not gonna take it away, but it'll be 12% at least till the end of the year, and then it'll be reevaluated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
What is it right now for the lot, I mean, the garbage right now, the 96 gallons?
So the 96 gallon right now is charged $25.05,
12% is gonna go what?
$28.06.
Then I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-1212.
I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo,
I'll go ahead and second it, but I do have one question. You know what, I lost my train of thought, go ahead, I will second it.
second by Councilmember Olivares. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business C, approval of ordinance 2026-1213. Can I please get an ordinance of the city of Mapton amending chapter 13.04.450 of the Mapton Municipal Code related to the rates charged for water utility services.
This particular one does increase the water rates by 12% up to 12% per year for the next 5 years, because the water utility is the one that is so far behind. So the rate will be evaluated every year, but it does authorize up to 12% until 2030. This is the biggie.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can any of these be amended at any given time?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right,
So if we can grant and can help us with water, we won't have
And-
to for the next 5 years.
As I said, Sophie and I are gonna be working on the annual report for 2025 in the next month, and if new information comes to light, we will bring it right to you guys to make any adjustments that we can.
I'm gonna make a motion and the reason I'm gonna make this motion is because this is what the citizens want. And we're here for them. We're not here for ourselves. We're here for the citizens. So I'll make a motion for the 2026-1213, an ordinance of the city of Mapton amending chapter 13.04.45 of the Mapton Municipal Code related to the rate charge for water utility services.
I have a motion by Councilmember Olivares. Second by Councilmember Zavala. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business E. Oh, I'm sorry.
This goes into effect in May or June?
It'll be the end of May bill. So your payment for June.
Yeah. 5 days after this is signed, it should go into effect, right?
Right, but the
Yeah.
rate will take effect, the next billing cycle after 5 days from now will
Okay.
be in effect on May 1st, so
Okay.
it's the May bill.
Yeah.
Actually, the April bill, but.
Moving on to new business E, approval of ordinance 2026-1214 of the city of Mapton, Washington, amending chapter 13.04 entitled Water and Sewer of the Mapton Municipal Code pertaining to utility billing, providing a severability, providing for corrections, and establishing an effective fee.
This is Drew's ordinance that amended some of the code.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is the one talking about some aligning with state laws about when you can turn on and off the water dressing and after hours charge, as well as addressing what we do with the billing when you shut off service due to non-payment.
$30 after hour charge.
This is not the $30 one or the $75 one that you were telling us?
This is the one with the $30 in it.
Yeah, the third one is already.
But can you really check into that? If it's $30, you turn it off and $30 you turn it on, or is it $30? You turn it on and off?
It has nothing to do with the rate.
It's right here.
Just,
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
Right.
no. This is has to do with, if it's really hot outside, you can't turn the water off,
Okay.
basically, right?
Cool.
Or cold.
Yeah.
Well, the cold is heat, the heat, and then if we don't get heat and anything. I make a motion to approve 2026 1214.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo, second by Councilmember Alvarado.
So it's supposed to be
Any,
12-14.
any discussion?
It's supposed to be
So I have
1214,
12-1.
meaning that to put it in.
I'm just,
Where you got
what's that?
All in favor?
Yeah, 14.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business F, approval of resolution 2026-20. Discussion, a resolution of the city of Mountain authorizing the purchase of a body worn camera system and approving a 5-year agreement for equipment, software, and service. Yes.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2026-20, oh, -20, then 1220. We're missing the 12 on these. Is it 1220?
No, it's 20.
It's just 20. Okay.
Just going down.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo, second by Councilmember Olivares. Any discussion? I am so sorry, Alvarado. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to old business A, approval of resolution 2026-19. Approval, a resolution of the city of Mountain, Washington, authorizing a lease agreement for the city-owned building located at 406 Washington Street.
We put 1,000 things in there. Do we need to?
It is on the, it's on the.
It's on the contract. I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-19.
I have a motion. Sorry, I have a motion by Councilmember Sotelo,
Second.
second by Councilmember De La Fuente. Any discussion?
Are we gonna get a copy of the contract?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
All in favor?
aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Now we are gonna move on to staff reports. Do Sophie and Monty have anything they need to report?
No, I'm looking at Jane.
Huh?
Oh,
Oh, okay, Jamie?
Forget it.
Just to here, we opened bids on the Fog Seal project today, and where the low bid was under the estimate and within your fundings, so.
I'll give them a mic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go. Sorry, we opened bids on the Fog Seal project today, and the low bid was under the estimate. And within your funding, and so that's gonna be a final coat of oil on all the roads that were done a couple years ago. And just a reminder, that project was grant funded from the state, and this is as well, for the most part, so.
You stayed here that long to tell you.
No, I was here in case there's a question about other things. This is since I'm here. I was here to support if there were questions on anything. So happy if there are other questions, I'm happy to. Yeah,
Before they put that oil out, they're gonna fill in the pothole.
that wasn't unfortunately what the funding was. If we could have written it for that, we would have. But essentially to sell, to get them to buy this is, it's a finish of the previous work. And so I don't think there was it was like we couldn't ask for it. It wasn't what we could ask for. I think we looked at that, right? Because especially Adams has a lot of potholes, right? Where,
Yeah.
you know, what that treatment that was done a couple years ago was like a coat of paint. It wasn't like a brand new road. It was a coat of paint over the top of the existing, they could fix a few things. And so Adams has quite a lot of places it was pretty good. And Adams, though, there was just so and a lot of, you know, subgrade issues that a coat of paint doesn't resolve. And so that's why the state gave you this grant. City had to kick in a little bit of money for this overall, but now with the, you know, the bid was good. So, you know, you were kicking a little bit of money, but it's mostly grant funded.
When is this gonna start?
So just bidding today, we'll see when the contractor is gonna, you know, there'll be about at least a month to go
Okay.
through insurance and all of that. It will come back to you guys with a recommendation of award prior to awarding the contract. Like just if we got a bid, it doesn't happen until you guys award it. And so we'll come back for you guys to award. And then after that, we'll have a better idea of the contractor schedule of when he'll be doing it. It should be this summer sometime.
Cause you're gonna do the whole town, right?
It should be at all the streets that received the treatment previously.
Okay,
So some streets won't get it, because they're either too new, or too old, but the streets that got the treatment a couple years ago, I believe it's the same streets. And this was the.
Damon,
something that you received.
Damon, would you recommend this? For these potholes to get filled in with dry, I think it's called dry pack, cold pack?
Okay. I mean, if the city,
Before they start doing those streets, that way it grabs better. Because if not, it was all for nothing.
yeah, so no, I mean, certainly, anytime you can fix potholes, that's a good thing. This treatment, and I say this not as an expert on this, we have other guys in our office that this is their area, but it's essentially a layer of oil.
Yeah.
Over the top of before they put oil and aggregate down, and then the idea was then people drive on it for a couple of years, and that helps, like the driving helps, as part of the process, and then we're putting one more layer of oil over the top. So it's not gonna fill in potholes. Certainly, if you can fill some potholes first, then that oil will go over the top of the potholes as
Yeah.
well. But again, this is like painting the street black, but then this oil then is part of the final piece of the treatment essentially that the roads received.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, because that oil will absorb into that cold pack
sure,
and it'll hold it better.
sure.
Once they lay the rest of it over, it should be okay for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Because if not, those potholes are gonna be back within a couple of months.
Well, these won't fit, this fog seal won't fix, isn't intended to fix potholes. It's just a layer of oil over the top. But certainly if the city has capacity to do, cold mix,
Yeah.
that won't hurt anything. For sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy if there are other questions. With the water tower, sorry, can I just say?
Yeah.
If you proceed with so you have an existing, 3 existing conduits through the foundation. That were there, they were by the city's mayor at the time wanted, so that you could eventually put some sort of, sell real estate on your tower for it. So the good news is you already have conduits through the tank foundation, you don't have to lay it over the top. The trick is, whatever they do, they can't do anything that will damage the coatings, because if they weld something to the tank, if they need a bracket that holds something in the tank, they weld on the outside, it'll make coatings pop off on the inside. And so sometimes people use magnets, they come up with different ways to do it, but that's something that you would need as part of the review of your evaluation, is how they propose to attach it to your tank. Because if the coatings are damaged on the inside, you have to take the tank offline and repair coatings, and that's way more money than I'm sure they want to spend, and so that would be, we certainly recommend that their proposal be reviewed for how they intend to attach it to the tank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you say holes in the tank, I get really jumpy.
Yeah.
It gets expensive.
Chief Soto, you have anything to report?
Other than just, first thing in the morning, I think I mentioned we had been scheduled to test 5 candidates on Saturday. I'll be canceling that. I'll be calling all the candidates and letting them know we're not doing it because of budget reasons. So, it is what it is.
What's your council?
Interview.
We don't have one?
So we're short 2 officers right now, correct?
There's 2 open spots. Yeah.
We have to say, so it's really more.
We do have 3 police officers, right? You and
Yeah. Just so you mentioned it, and I'm not trying to argue the point, but I talked to some of the other officers that worked here back in the day. And part of the reason Matton ends up with no officers, because they get overworked. And 3 officers is not enough. 5 officers, I've done my studies, I've talked to other departments about the size of here. 5 to 7 officers is what they have. With 5 officers, you'd be probably pretty dang close to 24/7 coverage. And that was my hopes. But, like I said, I'm willing to be a team player, and I'll go along with it as long as I can. But eventually we are gonna have to hire.
The
Whenever
council,
that is, but
the council has the ability to continue to increase the utility tax, which is what you just increased from 23% to 26%, and that money goes directly to the general fund. So if you would like to reevaluate it again in 6 months, to see if another percentage may be able to add a police officer back, that's something you can always consider, but again, that's coming directly out of your residence utility bills.
And when you say that, James, you're talking water sewer, right?
I'm
Taxes
talking,
off-
yeah, I'm talking
off
that
that.
second line item for each utility that's called charge for services on your bill. Right now, it's an additional 23, you guys just changed it to 26%. You can, when I worked in the city of Toppenish, it was 33%. Unfortunately, towns like us and even Toppenish that don't have a big sales tax or property tax base have to use, that's one of the mechanisms that they can use to afford expenditures in the general fund, which is usually largely police departments.
I think what we can do right now is, if there's any way possible of making cuts somewhere where we can at least afford one more officer for now, and then review this in 6 months to see where we're at financially, in hopes that we can get another one before the end of the year, hopefully. That's what, I think that would be something to look into.
In 2 months, we'll be halfway through the year. So that's a good time to reevaluate where we're at, and it'll be the first billing cycle. After June will be the first billing cycle where we put the new rates into effect. So we'll have a good idea of I mean, we can run estimations based on the number of bills issued and all this stuff, but it's until you actually see that billing number come out, you know?
You know, if all the residents here were in favor of going ahead and giving that hike on the cost. So if you can come up with how much more additional money it's gonna cost them to raise it another 3%. And if it's not,
The 3% that we increased right now gives us, I think, $74,000. So that's about 2/3 of a cop.
and if you do another 3% on top of what we.
Then you would get another 2/3 of a cop. So if you did another 3%, you would give him one officer back. So if you went to 29%, you could give him another officer.
Jameson, you had mentioned, and I don't know, maybe that money goes to something else, and please let me know. You had mentioned that in May, we get, the map team gets property taxes. Where is that going?
Property tax goes to the general fund as well. Property tax,
Is there an
sales
estimate
tax.
of what we're more or less
We
getting?
could look at what we've gotten historically and then compare it to what our tax rate is right now. But it will come in right around, it usually comes in on the 12th. So by the 12th of May, we'll know what our first half is basically.
Actually, the paper will be ready probably before that, even before
Yeah.
that, so.
So I guess my question to council, unless you're gonna discuss it more, my question to council is, should I cancel it or should I not cancel?
This is what I was gonna say, if the residents were willing to do what they wanted to do today, that's what convinced me was their comments. I don't think that they would have a problem with another 3% on top of what we just did. In terms, what was it, 29 you said?
It could go to 29%. 29% would add another 3%, so it would increase their bills by basically another $7.
Another $7.
Yes,
So
so,
3% now is gonna increase it for how much?
well, right now it's going up by like 1707, so that would increase it to $24, $25 increase per month.
But the benefit behind that is that we would be able to afford another police officer.
That's the total bill, you mean 20.
Yes.
Oh, that's.
But-
Maybe just utility tax.
But if that is something that the council wants to do, look at funding the police department with utility fund tax, then what we should do is look at those actual costs, how much it would cost, and then draft an ordinance where it makes sure that money goes towards those particular positions. So I'm sure Drew can help with that. But I can figure out some numbers so that you can, if you are interested in doing that and you think that's something the community would support.
I think the community would support it. Just for the simple fact that we will have more officers on duty and we'd be better patrol. It would relieve some of the overtime and overwork of the 2 officers that are on duty now. I would think it would be beneficial to everybody. So I myself, I don't have a problem with bumping it up to 29%.
The numbers you worked out too included the overtime, right?
They did, right.
So then take that overtime out. and
So-
take the wages.
Does the council want to have another ordinance brought back to increase it again right away, or would you like to wait until the end of the year and ask for another 3%? What are you leaning
Maybe
towards?
we said 2 more months, and 6 months, and then.
Yeah.
To reevaluate after 6 months,
Yeah.
okay.
I
2 months, deal.
I think if we do it,
In 2 months, yes.
I think if we do it right away, the chief would be able to do his training the salary, and we might have an officer within what, the next,
Well, you know, you gotta go through all the background and everything.
yeah.
It was
Just to open the.
on the.
Yeah.
Just, I would say, the quickest probably wouldn't be until mid-June. That they would, I mean, if they passed everything.
Yeah,
And this is just testing too, so it's not an offer of
Yeah,
employment for anyone.
exactly. So this is just testing.
yeah,
So if-
And they still have to go through oral boards, they still have to go through the background check, and by
Yeah.
the time that is done. It will probably be around the June mark.
How many
Oh,
people
but-
are you,
5,
5 for, oh, cause you was doing 5 for 2 positions?
yeah, that's all we had for
Right.
applicants, so.
but if we wait 2 more months, that's just gonna prolong the situation for another,
But I think what the chief is asking is, can he go, if he goes forward with this testing, he's not gonna, even if he chooses a candidate. He might not even have any good candidates.
Exactly, they may not have. a
But if he
test.
chooses a candidate, the likelihood of them being hired prior to even July 1 is probably
Probably
low,
that's safe,
probably around July 1,
yeah.
yeah. So at that point, yes,
Do we start paying them before they go to, cause we're sending everybody, right, to the academy? Everybody we hire, we have to send, so are we giving them wages before they go to the academy? Are we paying them to go to the academy, or are we
Yeah,
paying
they
them
have
once
to,
they come
that's,
back?
technically they're working, so
Once
they
they
would
go to
get
the
paid.
academy, but not before.
Well, if they're coming to work, they're working.
Oh.
it's
But-
easier to
but-
get
but I-
this class now, right, though, with the Tri-Cities one?
Well, they only have, I think, one class every quarter or something
Oh.
like that. But here's the thing, is that what I can do is I can hold off on the hiring until I get close to the academy date. Cause that's what actually a lot of departments do. The only reason being a smaller department that we like to have them come in is that way they get a little bit, if they don't have any type of law enforcement at all, you know, they get their feet wet and they're not shocked when they go over there. When they're going through everything, they kind of have a little bit of familiarity with certain things as a police officer. But
So now could you, after the training, and you select a person,
you're talking to the mic.
and you select a person. And before they go, with during the background check and all that other stuff, can they do ride-alongs and not be on the payroll?
oh yeah, they can come in
They
and
can
do
that,
right.
then get,
Yeah, absolutely.
get a look out for them. Okay.
Yeah, you know, and I, like I said, I wouldn't, I think we could do that. Maybe have them start maybe a month before their academy, just so that they can get familiar with the department, familiar with just the
See
daily
the job
things,
itself.
yeah, just to get comfortable with what we're doing here and then off to the academy they go.
I think you should go ahead and go with the testing and overview.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and just do the testing. And when I speak to the candidates in the morning, when they come in, I'll just let them know we have one immediate opening. The second probably maybe in 6 months. Does that sound-
So, so then, after that is when we'll write up the ordinance.
At the 6 month,
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can start working on the ordinance now to get the language in that specifies the money to be used for public safety. And then determine based on what goes on with him, and once we get a better look at that halfway through the year point of where we actually are with the year, you know, about maybe what a more specific percentage would be to get that one full body.
I myself, I think that'd be the best thing to do is go ahead and start up on the verbiage of the ordinance and then go from there.
Yeah.
At least that way the chief knows where he stands.
But-
Hey, see?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Chief, quick question.
Yeah.
If you do the testing now for April, will all those tests and everything that you do for these individuals be valid in December or towards the end of the year, beginning
They're
of next
usually
year?
valid for 6 months.
Okay,
Yeah, so let's say we hire the first one right away. Actually, I'm sorry, they're good for a year. They're good for a year, I'm sorry.
okay, so it
So they are
would
good
still
for a
be,
year. We'd still.
so we wouldn't have to start all over again with
We'd still be
those
able to go
costs.
off of that list and not have to start all over and testing again.
Okay.
But, the one thing is that we're only gonna hire one. I would probably have to do at least two people, a background in case one washes out during the background. I still have one going.
Right.
But to be honest with you, the 5 candidates that we have, even though it's only 5, they're actually really good candidates. So, I'm pretty excited that at least we'll get one. That's my hope.
Not only that, Chief, but when all this is written up, it will be stipulated that they can't bail out.
I
Or
hope
if you do
so.
bail out, they have to pay back.
I hope so.
Yeah,
There used to be a contract where if
Yeah.
we sent them to the academy, they had to stay here 5 years. For 3 years.
3 years.
that's what I'm saying. So when-
difference, they take off anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So when it's all written up, that's,
That's.
Yes, Drew.
Needs to.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Council.
Oh,
Any report? Oh, sorry, Drew, do you have anything to report?
This time, no.
Moving on to reports of mayor and council. Council member De La Fuente?
No.
Okay, council member. Wolf?
yes. Say if we were having,
Sorry.
say if we were having community days and we came in and this person was told they had to have, an evacuation plan put in place to hold this certain. Yes, thank you, Sophie. Is that true?
Where they gonna evacuate?
Is it indoor or
I-
outdoor event? Indoor.
Outdoor,
Because it's special event, do they need
an evacuation plan in place to have that event. They do?
Do you know?
None of us.
I'm sorry.
It would probably be him or the
I'm
fire
texting-
department.
I'm texting the sergeant. What's?
Well, I was told to this person by.
Yeah.
If the special events need like a safety evacuation plan for an outdoor event.
That's a fire.
But we have one for the city anyway, the city has to have one, but I've never heard of an event having to have one.
Those are the outside.
It reminds me of when, the coffee shop tried to do it. And that was brought to the coffee shop had to have an evacuation plan and all this crap. When they, I mean,
Okay,
so you
just
can really
asking.
go back into the ordinances when Crystal Coffee was trying to do it and the mayor wouldn't let her. And use what they had to have, what this new people want to do,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be any different. Because if it's any
So-
different, Crystal's Coffee could come back to us
Yeah.
and say, why did you let them do it? I closed my business because I couldn't.
So we
So-
can look into that.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Okay, if the special evacuation is
And that
needed.
will,
What?
the checking of the well, the lady that lives in the house to the left with the round thing on top, her well has been,
Oh, well.
her well, she's on well water.
Oh.
They said they're gonna check the 4 wells,
Yes.
that might be one you might.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes.
Coming to the city, that's
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I don't
get
know
you.
what her well.
Do you have her? Well,
Okay.
Mary, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I have a couple of things. I asked, I don't know, a month ago or so about that TV screen, if we could hang it up. As you guys seen today, we had quite a bit of people in here. They could have stood against the wall or something. That screen's not safe right there. It should be like on the wall somewhere. My next one is
is to, two of the employees that are sitting in the far end over there, they're always whispering on YouTube, cannot hear. And, we need to, stay away from the mic on your computer or something for the YouTube people to hear. If we could do that. And they won't have to hear what you guys are talking about, because they're hearing everything you guys are saying. And then, if all of us council with mayor, chief, and, two ladies over there, if, when we're talking, we could use a mic. Because nobody can't hear anybody, and then when people are whispering, it's not helping either, so. And then I had another question. My other one is, why are we getting notices through Facebook and not telling us here at the city council about the thing you guys had with GMA? I found out through, events. I found out through Facebook. The Easter egg hunt that.
Because it was GMA,
Yeah, but you guys could have announced it,
we did, I posted it on our Facebook, but it's
not
not,
here.
oh, in city council, at our city council meeting.
Same thing as dump day. You were supposed to check into it and then come back and tell us what exactly happened. And we didn't find out until,
You guys voted for dump date, the actual date.
Yeah, they're gonna find out if it.
if it was gonna work with their schedule.
Yeah. With them, and we never did finalize it.
But when I went with you at Nita's house, no one, I mean, we had already, or, okay, so what's the issue? Sorry, I don't.
If you guys could just communicate with us council people.
Like us, like the city,
Yeah,
like city staff?
yeah.
Well,
because-
if we're on GMA,
Oh, hold on.
but Sophie's here, she's the president, she doesn't know.
I just, I would like.
Very
Yeah, but
hard
like
time.
the city kinda helped, kinda helped some donations.
Oh.
And nice
Oh.
for all of us to know about it. Or even, I donated 2 baskets.
That,
One of the other council members donated some money.
oh, okay.
We didn't know about it until I seen it on Facebook, oh, they're gonna have an Easter egg hunt. Oh, the city is.
Collaborating with that,
Yeah,
so,
I don't know how come nobody did tell us.
because it was GMA's event.
She just wants to know how come the city doesn't tell the rest of the council, the city is going into a partnership or whatever with GMA, am I right?
Yeah.
As your being the city that you did it.
You know what she's asking?
And I,
You
that,
understand what she's asking? What she's asking is that if there's gonna be an event at any given time,
Mhm.
to inform the council in advance of the event that's gonna happen. Normally what they've done in the past is they announce what's gonna go on in the coming weeks or in a couple of weeks or in a month from now, and then that way everybody's on the same page. That's what she's asking, just to communicate a little bit better on any future events. Like right now, community days. I talked to John and I've asked him, you need to let us know when you guys are planning community days. Because the gentleman that's in charge of Peter Ortega's car show is gonna be out of town. And he needs to know, when are you guys gonna have it? That way I can make arrangements before I'm out of town. I've already mentioned that to John. I haven't gotten any feedback yet, so,
From John.
yeah.
yeah, so that has nothing to do with the city, and I have.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Whoa,
That's
okay,
DMA.
sorry.
That's DMA. That's what I'm saying. Listen to
It's
me.
not part of the city.
Listen to me.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
I understand that's DMA. but what I'm saying is, like you,
Okay,
you're the
now,
president,
now-
no,
Okay, okay.
like you're the president, supposed to announce those things here in advance,
And she's.
so that we're all aware of it.
The secret, she did.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say that, but Tuesday we had a meeting,
Mhm.
and until I forgot to announce it, and then we forgot to talk about the dump day that it was actually happening. Cause I know I did call you, text you on Friday, hey, that thing happened the next day.
No, I know that, I'm sorry, I know that it's mentioned that they, you guys, for some days on the committee, we voted on the time, we voted on the time. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You guys wrote out, yeah, because we're gonna compare that thing to the report with that. Sure, yeah, that's announced it. As far as the community, that doesn't do with the city, but you can talk to me about that out there. If you want.
Okay,
But-
let's go home.
And we're done.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anybody, sorry, oh, so you have to, are you, sorry, I'm done, okay.
Well, tomorrow, GMA does have a meeting at the park at 6:30. We're gonna talk about the alumni game that's gonna happen the
And you didn't
15th.
tell me you scheduled it here.
Well, yeah, I didn't get back because some people didn't want to have it here. I'll tell you, I'm gonna tell you about it today. And then, and we're talking about community days, which is gonna be in August, and I do have Pete Ortega's, what's his name?
Irby, Santos,
No, they're not organizing it. It's, his brother.
Santos,
Santos. I communicated with Santos already. At 6:30 at the park. Yeah.
Yes, okay,
Oh, okay. I don't know his name. I know by his real name.
yeah. That will work. Council member, oh, you bet.
I've asked this before, can we look into what the forensic audit is gonna cost, because even though we're in a bind,
I have, it's 75 to 100,000. They can't give us an exact amount, but I said, 75 to 100,000.
because this is the first time I've heard of it.
She did say over 100 one time.
Another thing is, who is the city's mechanic? David,
Yes,
I would like to sit down with you one of these days, just
I'll be here tomorrow afternoon.
let me know,
Tomorrow afternoon?
okay, thank you.
Like, why don't you just ask her what's on Facebook? What's on Facebook, because her husband is looking at the cost.
So, just to clarify that, and, it's not that he's our mechanic, but he did, there was 2 vehicles that, you know, he did just come and look at and say, oh, this is the issue. You know, just to, at the time, I think that we had taken it to Tommy and he worked on it, and then it was doing the same thing again. So just to save us some money on just diagnostic, but he's never been paid. I mean, he's just scanned the cars, and I just, you know, one of them. real
I
quick.
can vouch for the mayor too. He actually saved me some money because the used one, the one
Yeah.
with a lot of miles, it wasn't starting, it wasn't. And he came and he cleaned whatever wires he needed to clean, and he didn't charge us. So I didn't have to go
And
take.
I
it.
do wanna say that he is a certified mechanic. He went to school, he has his certification from Wyotech, and he is a really good mechanic. He knows what he's doing. I was just, and to say some kind of money, just look at our resources, and I felt like, well, he's a good resource. I know, for example, one of the vehicles was, something that, they thought maybe was a starter. And it wasn't, it was just a wire was loose, and he just reconnected it, and that, so that, things like that, but. I mean, I hear the concern and I understand where that can be like, but
But it's not.
real quick, just, but moving forward, we will not, if he,
But on the record, he's not getting paid though.
He's not getting paid.
He's just looking at
And
it.
he's not getting paid, he hasn't done any kind of labor work or anything, all he has done is scan.
I
So,
don't see no conflict, he's not getting
so
paid.
yeah, he's never been paid, and he, aside from me saying thank you, he's never been paid.
The only reason I'm asking is because I don't want anybody to get in trouble for a conflict of interest, that's the only reason.
No,
I'm asking.
exactly, and so, no, yeah, and you're right, and so that's why also I you know, like I said, he's never done any type of work. Just aside from just looking at it, just listening to it. And so, you know, like I said, he is certified, he's worked on tractors, he's worked on diesel semis, obviously. So I just felt like, oh, maybe this would help us somehow, right, like save us. But I think just for, you know, future, and so we're just not, you know, liable for anything or
Yeah.
anything like that, this, we will not use.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah.
Before I go on, are we gonna have an executive meeting or not? Because it seems like people are ready to go home.
Oh, did we have that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The TV. When is anybody gonna be able to move this? We need a timeline. Will it be done by the next council meeting?
Move on.
That,
Oh, the TV.
I know that they.
Oh, we don't got no money right now.
Hold on, it's not about money, it was,
you could say
Yeah.
that,
she needs to be connected, it's with the actual like wire, like it's not wireless or
Oh, it
Bluetooth.
has to go
Well, we-
down to your.
we can get a longer HDMI cord. That's all we need is an HDMI cord.
Yeah.
Because it would be nice if anybody that has anything to do with the council meeting. Can be viewed on that screen. That way people know who's talking, who's. Not only that, but these things need to get updated, or they need, or something, either updated, fixed, something, we need to get somebody here to fix it, because. We hear complaints all the time, you know, we can't hear nothing, some of them work, some of them don't, it's noisy in the background, all sorts of things, so these things need to get fixed. When, I don't know. Has anybody called the Dawn to see, or have we found the receipts for the reimbursement? Of the, whatever it might have been, $200,000+, or whatever it might have been used up?
It wasn't that much that we've used. I submitted, a request to extend the ARPA money that was, scheduled to expire in a couple months. Or by the end of this year, all of that documentation was submitted. You did just approve the, some of the invoices that came in for that specific, project. And so I will be submitting those to the county as well. Actually, I am working with the county right now to get access to it because we don't have access right now to the portal.
And how much of that reimbursement is it? What's the reimbursement amount?
I don't have it in front of me. I can look it up for you.
And is that money going straight to the general fund, or is it going back into the ARPA fund?
No, it'll be our reimbursement, so it'll go back into the general fund. Same with the flock camera, cause we had 2 ARPA grants through the county. One was for the flock cameras, and so I'm again still working on getting into the portal. I had to contact they're using Clifton Larson Allen Accounting for the secure access to the portal, so I'm working on getting access through CLA to so that I can upload the documents to get reimbursed.
Yeah, because.
I already have them ready to go. I'm just waiting for them to give me access so that I can upload them.
Okay, because if we're gonna get reimbursed in something, that's gonna help somewhere,
Yes,
you know, we would hope. Not unless that money has to go straight to an ARPA fund, and you can only use it for water projects, I'm not sure. It sounded to me that grant was only for water projects, so evidently it would have to go back to the water department or to something having to do with water projects.
Was changed when they allowed, didn't they change that where they allowed it to be spent on different things?
that was the federal ARPA that we received, and that was during COVID. And it was $632,000 that was used to offset we were allowed to use that to offset wages and other expenses.
Okay. Who's in charge of building permits?
That's true.
Okay, because I've had a couple people tell me that, for whatever reasons, their permits are being delayed. And, there shouldn't be a reason for them to be delayed. You know, especially if they submitted for the permits a while back. Like, probably a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, they're still waiting around.
Do you want to give me the names like after or?
We can do it during the executive session if you want. Yeah. Okay. I think we can go ahead and, move on to executive session.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
One thing. And I'm only saying this because it'll probably come up down the road. And I'm gonna say it now is that I was accepted to the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. I was sponsored by Chief Lehman from Sunnyside. And before all this happened, I was already approved to go to a conference that's in May, okay? And it's one of those things that all the sheriffs and police chiefs that are in the organization are going to be there. So this is what the conference is for. Basically, they have different sessions in different areas, you know, different laws, grants that may be available. And actually, Washington sheriffs and police chiefs actually do their own grants. So I'm just telling you now, so that later on, it's not brought up, well, why was this spent? If we didn't have money to do this and do that. That decision was already made before all this came out. So I'm putting it out there.
No, I don't have
And
a
it's
problem.
from Monday through Thursday, May 11th through the 14th.
I don't know.
I don't have a problem with that, Chief.
And I believe you've got training money in your training budget.
Right.
We can look at it.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I don't want there to be issue with that because that was decided before all this.
There won't be any issues, I don't think, Chief, because if that's something that you need to do, not only to educate on whatever else is going on that's new, but to see if, you know, what you gotta go through, what's the process of trying to get grants to help, you know, the police department out.
Well,
I don't have a
that's
problem.
part of the job.
Yeah,
It's the
I don't have a problem
networking
with that.
with other police chiefs and sheriffs.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very honored to be part of it
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody gets in. And so I just wanted to put it out
No,
before you guys see the invoice and.
you're good, you're good.
Alright. Okay, I'll bring the receipts. Yeah. That's all I.
Yeah, I think we ought to set a limit on these meetings here. I mean, I got a little girl, I left that babysitter, now pick her up at 8 or 8:30. Here it is, 10:30. I know we had things to discuss, yes, but I mean, this is getting ridiculous. And they gotta work tomorrow. And stuff, you know. You gotta set a time limit of these meetings, I mean, yes, I understand we have things that are important like this, but then, you know. You gotta consider somebody else's life too. That's all I got.
If there is nothing else to report, the city council will now go into executive session pursuant RCW 42.30.110. Discussion with legal counsel about current or potential litigation. The executive session will last 15 minutes and no action will be taken during the executive session. We expect to return at 10:55.